What's poppin', Trey TV gang? It's your boy Trey TV, and we back at y'all with another reaction. With this one, we got Trump speak to the press about placing tariffs on China, Canada, and Mexico. And if you want to help the channel and the content that we making, please help support our merchandise. The link is in the description. If you didn't hit the like button, make sure you hit the like button. Try and get the channel to grow. And the only way we're gonna do this if you like, share, and comment on the content. Without further ado, let's get straight into this video. Let's go. Chi, get the yayo.
Get the yayo.
Trump speaks on press conference tariffs in Mexico, Canada, and China.
We had a very busy weekend. We got the 6 hostages
One
out
back
of
there.
Venezuela, as you probably know. And they're very safe right now. They're home with their families.
Shout out to Trump for already getting the hostages out. We know Joe Biden was in office. He couldn't get them out. Seemed like Trump been in office like 2 weeks. He already getting them out. The way he's moving, the way he's doing stuff, it seemed like he's getting no sleep at all. It seemed like he's just moving, keeping his word to his voters. Everything he said that he was going to do, for the most part, he's already doing it from the word go. Trying to let him in office, he just started doing what he said he was going to do.
Yeah, he's definitely doing what he said he was gonna do, and he's staying consistent to what he's always done. Like, he goes in the office, and within his first month to 2 months, he breaks up all the shit.
Straight havoc.
Yeah, like anything that he didn't really like that the previous administration was doing, it seems like he's been consistent with that. He goes in office and he just tears all that to shreds. And then like that second or third month, it seems like he starts implementing his own policies.
Yeah, it's like they said, sometimes you gotta destroy to build.
And they're very safe right now. They're home with their families.
Best place to be.
And we appreciate the hard work of a lot of people, including Rick Grinnell. We appreciate the cooperation from Venezuela. And we have some very happy people right now. Nobody thought that was going to happen. So they are home, they're safe, and they're with their families. That was a big one.
That's a big flex.
Secretary of State Rubio is in Panama right now, and we're talking about the Panama Canal. What they've done is terrible. They violated the agreement. They're not allowed to violate the agreement. China's running the Panama Canal. That was not given to China. That was given to Panama foolishly. But they violated the agreement, and we're going to take it back, or something very powerful is going to happen. And
that's one thing you gotta like about Trump. He talks real heavy. You feel what I'm saying? Ever since he got in office, he's been talking about taking stuff back. We know it used to be called the Gulf of Mexico. It's now called the Gulf of America. He said they gave him the Panama thing. They gave it to China, the canal. They got China running stuff. That was never the plan for China to be running it. Since you're not running the way we need to be running, man, give us that back too. Everything.
It seems very aggressive. To say the least. Like, do it the way I want it done, I'm taking it back.
And it looks like he's trying to take everything back right now.
We're going to take it back, or something very powerful is going to happen.
Very powerful.
And as far as other things are concerned, as you know, we had a very busy weekend. We're dealing with Israel. We're dealing with Ukraine and Russia. We have meetings and talks scheduled with...
That's big. There's big things. Israel, Russia, you feel what I'm saying? Ukraine. That was stuff that he walked into office already having to deal with, and it sounds like from what he's saying, he's already dealing with it, because this stuff people didn't want to see could keep going on. People don't want to see what's going on in Israel keep going on. People don't want to see the war in Ukraine keep going on. A lot of people feel like that war is already lost. We already dumped 177 billion into that situation. We don't want to drop another penny into it. A lot of people feel like that's why inflation is going on over here. Ever since that war started, prices over here started to hike immediately.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And people are done with the war, and people are done with paying the high prices.
We done with paying high prices on shit that ain't got nothing to do with us.
Yeah,
it's on the other side of the world. I mean, like, let's just be real. Like, eggs shouldn't cost this much.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. Gas shouldn't cost this much.
Not to cut you off, I was in the grocery store yesterday. 12 eggs cost $9.
$9.
It's crazy.
$9.
It's crazy. I never.
And we out here shipping out bread. Nah,
bro. Billions. By the billions.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
And Russia, we have meetings and talks scheduled with various parties, including Ukraine and Russia. And I think those discussions are actually going pretty well. The discussions on the Middle East with Israel and various and sundry other countries are progressing. Bibi Netanyahu is coming on Tuesday, and I think we have some very big meetings scheduled.
I can't wait to see how them meetings go, but it looked like Trump keeping his word. All the stuff that he said he was getting in office, he was to put a stop to the Russia war, he was to put a stop to what's going on in Israel and in Gaza, and it seemed like that's what he's trying to do right now. He's not trying to take a long time to do it. It sounds like he's trying to do it. He's trying to do it immediately.
Coming on Tuesday, and I think we have some very big meetings scheduled.
President, do you feel that Elon Musk is delivering on his promises to you? Do you feel he's doing a good job right now?
I do. I think Elon's doing a good job. He's a big cost cutter. Sometimes we won't agree with it and we'll not go where he wants to go, but I think he's doing a great job. He's a smart guy, very smart, and he's very much into cutting the budget of our federal government.
I like the fact that how he's up there talking, because a lot of time before they got into office, they was calling Elon Musk the president. They was calling Donald Trump the vice president. He let it be known, I'm the president. Some stuff he gonna tell us to do, I ain't gonna do it.
Yeah, I don't even like the fact that he's such a cost cutter, because he generates a lot of wealth. Yeah. But sometimes you gotta give a little bit to get a little bit.
Yeah, and it's
because in the greater scheme of things, with the technology and the way it's moving forward in so many at different aspects of things, you gotta kind of meet him in the middle.
Yeah, and it was like something that he found. He found something like 70 million was about to get sent down. I don't know if you know, but they put a freeze on all the spending that's going out, because they need to look at it, audit the books, see where this money is going.
Yeah, it's time to audit.
See if it's allocated right, and that's what Elon Musk is doing. And they just found out what Elon Musk did with the Doge. That they found out a couple of days ago that we was about to send $50 million to Gaza for condoms. 50 million of our tax dollars. Let me say that again, was about to go out the door to Gaza for condoms. And I don't know if you've seen pictures from Gaza. It's like a demolition over there. There's no buildings over there. There's no nothing. These people got a lot of problems. Condoms is not
the least of it.
Exactly.
What's the last thing they think about?
It's crazy.
And he's very much into cutting the budget of our federal government.
Mr. President.
There's also retaliatory tariffs from Canada.
Say it.
There's also retaliatory tariffs from Canada. There was a rider in the order. Are you planning to increase the tariffs against Canada?
Well, it could happen. If they do anything, we will. Canada's been very abusive of the United States for many years. They don't allow our banks. Did you know that? Canada does not allow banks to go in. If you think about it, that's pretty amazing. If we have a U.S. bank, they don't allow them to go in. Canada's been very tough on oil, on energy. They don't allow our farm products in, essentially. They don't allow a lot of things in, and we allow everything to come in. It's been a one-way street. We subsidize Canada by the tune of about $200 billion a year.
Damn.
And for what? What do we get out of it? We don't get anything out of it. I love the people of Canada. I disagree with the leadership of Canada. And something's going to happen there. But if they want to play the game, I don't mind. We can play the game all they want. Mexico, we've had very good...
I like what he's saying about Canada. Y'all want to play the game, we can play the game. We do so much to help you out. We put in $200 million a year into the economy. What do we get out of it? We're tired of one-sided relationships. Nobody likes a one-sided relationship. I do all this stuff for you.
Listen, what do I get?
And you give me nothing. Like, them days are over. I can understand when America was at the top of the pinnacle, we had all this money flowing in. That is not the case anymore.
It didn't make sense then. Because that's just how I think. It didn't make sense then when you're on top to be like, we ain't worried about it now. You need to worry about it immediately.
Yeah.
Because it's only the divot in your pocket is only going to grow deeper.
And that's what we've been seeing with the deficit. The deficit every year, every term, a new president come in, the deficit keep getting higher and higher and higher. Then we see more people coming in doing more and more spending. I thought you said y'all didn't have no money.
Yeah, it's money. It's money for what they want to allocate it for. Yeah. Like, that's the reality. Like, it's not that it's not money there. It's just like, it's not that money there.
Yeah, and I like the fact that Trump is here and he's saying he's going to get rid of the deficit, because we just see nothing but a deficit growing from president to president. It's nice to see a president stepping in and saying, no, I plan on getting at least half of this done.
I mean, that's what they're saying, but look, like...
That's what they're doing.
But I'm going to be real. I'm 42 years old. We've been in a recession my entire life.
Not entirely.
No, my entire life. This isn't something shit I'm making up. This is a fact.
Yeah.
The country has been in a recession since '82, bro.
I mean,
like regardless of we're thriving in you could say in if you connect like looked at the two different the lesser two evils. Mm-hmm. Oh, it was better then and it was better here, but no, like the numbers speak for themselves. So like I'm not really too far going on.
I'm not really into the numbers. I'm into real life and what I see going on in my life and in my
all these numbers are real.
My ability to do stuff. And for me, what I'm saying is I haven't been in a recession since.
How much money went out to the condoms again?
50 million.
Okay, that's money that's affected because it's leaving the hole and going somewhere else.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is a recession is when everyone's struggling. There was a lot of years that I wasn't struggling.
There was years like as
my first year struggling actually was last year, but 2020s I've been having good years.
Yeah, but I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about the country, nigga.
Yeah, that's about me.
You know what I'm saying? I'm
about me.
No, but as
I can't grade what's going on with the country. I don't know what the country.
You can only gauge it off of
my pocket.
Your pocket, but I'm saying when you look at what it really is.
Yes.
Even when I was doing well, if you looked at the country, it was recessed.
Yeah. But yeah, I just is what it is. But everybody wasn't in a recession because I was.
No, there's always somebody who's going to be.
The two recessions that I do remember from my pockets is 2008. I remember that one. And 2024, I would say was a hella recession
because they were heavy.
You know what I'm saying?
They were heavy.
But in 2020, I made over $100,000. 221, I made $100,000. 2022, I made $100,000. So to say we was in a recession and me is making over $100,000 a year, I can't call it a recession.
Man, it's on the whole. Yeah. It's on the whole. It's on the whole.
Talks with them, and this is retaliatory. This is retaliatory to a certain extent. Millions of people flowed into our country through Mexico and Canada. And we're not going to allow that. And by the way, we have among the lowest numbers we've ever had of people crossing our border. The lowest numbers since my administration.
Mr. President.
This is definitely something you're never going to hear the Democrats say. They're not going to go out there and say that we got the lowest number of people crossing the border. They're going to keep it on DEI and make fuss about DEI and all that stuff.
The whole smoke screen.
Yeah, but I like what Trump is saying. He's not asking a lot. Yo, shut down your borders. You're letting a lot of stuff through the Mexico and Canada border. Shut down your borders. It's your job to protect your borders like it's our job to protect our borders.
They making money off us. We need to make money off them.
So he's not asking a lot. I don't think it really should be terrible. If somebody actually shut down your border, it should be like, all right, no problem. I understand where you're coming from. You don't want these people flowing in through our country into your country. We're going to help you out, not start a whole trade war where nobody wins in a trade war.
Because, I mean, when you're saying about the tariffs from Canada, that's affecting, like, back to where I was started when I was talking about the eggs. It's going to affect the eggs. It's going to affect the
everything. Definitely energy.
It's going to affect like all that, the chickens,
the energy,
the orange juice,
all that.
Like everything's affected the everyday life. Right. It sounds like it's just no big deal. Tariff here. What could it really affect? But that's why they like $9.
Yeah.
For like 12 eggs.
But if they're not gonna refuse, they refuse to close on that border in Canada. They refuse to close on that border in Mexico. I'll pay a couple extra dollars because I know eventually you're gonna shut that border down. You're gonna crack before we crack. And you're going to shut that damn border down what need to be done. Nobody was happy the last 4 years of all these migrants just pouring in, taking over the country. We've seen the videos of the gangs running and stuff, all types of stuff. People getting arrested in New York City the same day they're getting let right back out into the population. That don't happen to us.
It don't happen to us.
We heard all the stories of people with all this cash assistance, all these food stamps. I'm talking about in the tens of thousands of dollars on a card and in food stamps. We don't even get nothing like that. So for y'all to just let these people in that's getting all this free stuff and y'all to do nothing about it.
It's an issue. It's an issue, especially when your own people are hurting.
Yes.
Your own people are hurting and you well, there's nothing left because you done gave it away.
Yeah.
You done gave it away unaccounted for.
Yeah.
Like really, that's the real issue.
Yeah.
We can't even account for where we know the money's there.
Yeah.
We know people are getting the money.
Yeah.
But we don't know who's getting it.
There's not another country that there you could go to illegally and expect to get cash and food stamps in-house and driver license, kids in school, all that.
That would have got deported.
Yeah.
That's what would have happened to me.
Or you be in a jail cell.
Yeah.
Facts.
Millions of people flowed into our country through Mexico and Canada, and we're not going to allow that. And by the way, we have among the lowest numbers we've ever had of people crossing our border. The lowest numbers since my administration.
Mr. President, you said, so on Truth Social, you said that you were going to cut aid from South Africa. Will you plan to cut aid across other African nations, and why South Africa?
No, it's only South Africa. Terrible things are happening in South Africa. The leadership is doing some terrible things. It's horrible things. So that's under investigation right now. We'll make a determination. And until such time as we find out what South Africa is doing, they're taking away land, they're confiscating land, and actually they're doing things that are perhaps far worse than that.
And on the Fed,
And if I'm understanding, if I'm wrong, somebody correct me, but I think South Africa joined BRICS. So I don't understand why they're not seen eye to eye, because Trump made it clear anybody that's dealing with BRICS, he's not really dealing with them no more, because BRICS' whole plan is to de-dollarize, make the dollar worth even less than it's worth right now. So I respect what he's doing. If you're dealing with these people,
got a whole value.
If you're trying to bring down the value of the dollar, I cannot do business. I can't make you do any better, and everything's on the table for you and your country.
That's it.
Yeah.
They're doing things that are perhaps far worse than that.
And on the Fed Chair Jerome Powell, he held rates. What's your reaction to him not changing the rates?
What did you say?
Fed Chair Jerome Powell, the Fed meeting was this week. He held the rates. He didn't cut them.
No, I'm not surprised. I think holding the rates at this point was the right thing to do.
Mr. President, which country will be next on tariffs? Would you consider taxing the UK, for example?
Well, we're going to see what happens. It'll happen. But we're going to, we'll see how things work out. It might happen with them, but it will definitely happen with the European Union. I can tell you that. Because they've really taken advantage of us. And, we have over a $300 billion deficit.
Damn.
They don't take...
I just like how it seems like he's like, who's taking advantage of us?
No longer.
Who's been getting over?
Yes.
Who's been winning?
Yes.
While we're not winning.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I'm attacking.
Yeah, it almost felt like y'all been eating while everybody's been starving.
Yeah. That day is dead.
There'll be no more of us starving and you eating. You need to share some of that.
You need to share some of that.
We might just come over there and take the whole loaf.
Take the whole plate.
Facts.
And, we have over a $300 billion deficit. They don't take our cars.
300
They don't
billion.
take our farm products. They take almost nothing. And we take everything from them. Millions of cars, tremendous amounts of food and farm products. So the UK is way out of line, and we'll see the UK, but European Union is really out of line. UK is out of line, but I'm sure I think that one can be worked out. But the European Union it's
out of line.
An atrocity.
It goes back to what I was saying earlier. Man, these one-sided relationships is over with.
They're done.
Even with females that only I do for you, you do nothing for me besides look pretty. That is over with. All that type of stuff. You're not taking our stuff. We're not taking your stuff. There's got to be a mutual agreement for both of us.
Yeah.
You get to eat. I get to eat. Not only you get to eat, your people get to eat. My people got to be out here starving.
Yeah.
It's not going
It's
down.
not okay. It's not how things are happening.
No.
The European Union it's an atrocity, what they've done.
Prime Minister Starmer wants a closer relationship with the EU.
Well, Prime Minister Starmer has been very nice. We've had a couple of meetings. We've had numerous phone calls. We're getting along very well. And we'll see whether or not we can balance out our budget. With the European Union, it's $350 billion deficit. So obviously something's going to take place there.
For the European Union, what's the timeline? Am I looking along the line 25%?
With who? With who?
The EU, how much?
I wouldn't say there's a timeline, but it's going to be pretty soon. No, I'm not concerned. We may have short-term a little pain, and people understand that. But long-term, the United States has been ripped off by virtually every country in the world. We have deficits with almost every country. Not every country, but almost. And
we got deficits with almost every country. Not all of them, but most of them. if you owe me money, I'm going to collect.
I'm collecting.
I need my bread. There's no more waiting. We waited long enough.
We
need our money, and we need it now.
Yeah, because we're not going to just keep giving.
Yeah, I don't even hear you.
That's what it's starting to look like. Yeah. Well, the U.S. will give you help. The U.S. will give you help. The U.S. will give you help. What about us?
Who's helping us?
What about us?
Time that, and I like what he's saying. Let's put America first. It's just like my whole life, it seemed like America has been putting everybody else first. The way I've been looking at things. But now the people here are struggling. The people are going through it. Everyone is talking about how they can't afford stuff here in America. It's supposed to be the land of the great, the land of the plenty. And everybody, for the most part, is over here struggling, living check to check, week to week, and barely even making it. Time to first come. You got to pay all these bills. Then you have nothing left for yourself. And that's not what the American dream was about.
It's not.
It's starting to seem like the American dream has become American nightmare.
To change it. It's been unfair. That's why we owe $36 trillion. We have deficits with everybody. We help everybody. We've been helping everybody for years. And to be honest, I don't think they appreciate it. So we're going to change that. We're going to change.
That's what I was just saying. The day of giving and giving and giving with no reciprocity is over.
It's like almost feel like you never know what you got till it's gone. Like we always been in these countries' corners, so they always knew we could be there, always relied on us. So they forget life without us not being there, having their back. And some people need to be reminded that this is a mutual benefit. This is not a one-sided relationship.
It's not one-sided.
Them days is over with, and guess what? They're not coming back.
Change it fast. We're going to make America great again. We have to focus on our country. We have tremendous potential if properly used, and we have to focus on our country. Tremendous deficits with China, tremendous deficits with the European Union, tremendous deficits with Mexico and Canada. And why? What's the purpose of that? Why would we have deficits? And you look at...
So you mean to tell me you owe me bread and I tell you to shut down your border and you have a problem with that? I'm not asking for the money you owe me.
It don't even make no sense when you really think about it.
I'm not asking for the money that you owe me. I'm just saying, stop people from coming over your border.
Yeah, it's simple.
It's crazy. It's real simple.
Why would we have deficits? And you look at... if you look at pharmaceuticals and drugs, if you look at various products, it's much cheaper in other countries. We're not going to allow that much longer. We're not going to take it.
That's why you gotta like Trump. Everyone know what we're paying for medicines and hospital visits.
Way too damn much.
Compared to other countries, it's crazy. Some countries you go to and get free healthcare.
Free healthcare. Yeah.
You know what
Sometimes, depending on what the medication is, it could be as high as 1,000 times more than what you need to pay for it in the first place.
Yeah, I remember my daughter get a medicine, and I'm not paying for it out of pocket. She got Medicaid, so I didn't know how much it costs. But when you go to Walgreens and look at it, you could see how much it costs. I looked at it. Man, this thing was $900. This is medicine she gotta get every month. What in the hell could possibly cost $900?
Yeah,
a month, and what you're doing?
It's real.
It's ridiculous out here what the pharmaceutical companies are doing and what they're doing to American people. And I'm glad somebody's stepping up to have our back, because I'm not at a point right now where I need medicine, but at one point I might need medicine. And we all know the prices is just straight ridiculous.
Yeah, and they just keep going up.
And they gonna keep going up unless somebody stands up like this.
Other countries, we're not going to allow that much longer. We're not going to take it.
The Democrats was they was chanting about how they brought insulin down the whole time. We brought insulin down. You know how many medicines out there? You need to say we brought all medicines down.
Yeah.
Don't name one medicine out of a million.
We got that one. That was a big problem.
What about all the other ones?
Yeah, what about the other people that are affected by others?
Everybody don't have diabetes.
Yeah, everybody don't have diabetes.
Allow that much longer. We're not going to take it.
What's going on there?
Well, it's been run by a bunch of radical lunatics, and we're getting them out. USAID, run by radical lunatics, and we're getting them out, then we'll make a decision.
Spoken with anyone from Canada or from Mexico since you opposed?
I've spoken with people from Canada. I've spoken with people from Mexico, and I've spoken to a lot of other people too.
I feel like he fell. Right now, everyone's big and bad. until you start to feel what comes from these
Yeah, the
tariffs.
effects.
The America, we already been paying high stuff. We could keep paying stuff for a little bit longer if we feel like stuff is getting done behind us paying these higher prices. So, like I said, and like he's saying, we'll pay higher prices for a little bit, but over the long term, we'll be exactly where we want to
We're
be
gonna
at.
end up back where we need to be.
Yeah.
I'm speaking with Prime Minister Trudeau tomorrow morning, and I'm also speaking with Mexico tomorrow morning. And
Everything get done
I don't
quick.
expect anything very dramatic. We put tariffs on. They owe us a lot of money, and I'm sure they're going to pay.
Gangster.
Sure they're gonna pay.
About what? I don't think troops will be necessary in Panama. What Panama has done is terrible for national security for this part of the world. And, 70% of the signage on the Panama Canal was written in Chinese.
Damn.
That's not right.
Yeah.
It wasn't meant for China. It should have never been made. The deal was a ridiculous deal. We lost 38,000 people building the Panama Canal, one of the great wonders of the world. 38, it was the most expensive project ever built by this country, if you take it forward. The most expensive project ever built. We lost 38,000. And what happens?
China.
owns it all of a sudden. It's not gonna
Makes
happen.
no
We're
sense.
not going to let that happen.
That makes no sense. It's the most money we ever spent. We lost 38,000 people.
38,000 people just to build it.
Just like China get it at the end of the
They'd
day.
be like, it's yours.
It makes no sense. That's why I like when he talks. You gotta respect it. Everything he's saying makes sense. Why did we spend the money, lose the people for China to have it? It makes zero sense.
Yeah, it's ours. Basically.
We
China
need that.
owns it all of a sudden. It's not going to happen. We're not going to let that happen. We have national security concerns, and they wouldn't let it happen either.
Yeah.
Mr. President, what does Canada and Mexico need to do for you to lift the tariffs?
The
What
border.
else specifically do you want?
They'd have to balance out their trade. Number one, that we've got to stop people from pouring into our country, and we've stopped it. They haven't stopped it.
Right.
We've stopped it. They have to stop people from pouring in, and we have to stop fentanyl, and that includes China. Fentanyl has killed this year at least 200,000 people.
God damn.
Pouring in from China through Mexico and Canada, and they've got to stop it. And if they don't stop it, the tariffs are going to get worse, a lot worse.
Not actually a lot. Peace. Straight TV. Let's get it.
I think it's a lot of things that are being affected immediately since President Trump is taking office again. However, in this segment of what he's doing, I like what he's doing.
Yeah.
It just comes down to common sense. Like, there's a lot of things I agree with, there's some things I don't, but in this instance, I agree with it. If they're making money off of us, we should be making money off of them.
Should be mutual.
And it shouldn't be a lopsided thing here. We shouldn't be catching the raw end of the deal.
Yeah.
Or, you know what I'm saying? It's just business practices.
Yeah.
You know, especially when you're supporting people and you're assisting to see their growth and their development.
They're taken for granted.
And they're taking for granted the assistance
Yeah.
that your own people would greatly appreciate right now.
Right now.
Right now. And even if you're not necessarily handing to the American people, just by taxing appropriately, there will be allocations of money that will inevitably end up helping the American people.
That's what it's about.
That's what it's all about. Like, you can't see your own people struggle, and you got to start somewhere.
Yeah.
So you start where you see the problem.
Yeah.
This is the problem.
Yeah.
It needs to be addressed. It needs to be fixed.
Yeah.
And as long as you can keep that approach going, you find a problem, you fix it, you're moving in the right direction.
Yeah.
What you think?
I think Trump is moving completely different this term, the second term, than he moved in his first. I almost feel like the first term was a learning experience. He learned a lot. He learned how to move, and it almost seemed like this 4 years that he was off, he was looking at America through a different lens. And if I was a president, this is what I would do to fix it immediately. It's almost like when someone go to jail and they be locked up, and then they come home, they come out of jail, and they immediately get to doing stuff. Because the whole time I was in jail, I had time to think, plan out exactly what I was gonna do and how I was gonna do it. That's the type of feeling it gives me. Like that 4 year years that he had off, he was already planning. Because you don't hit the ground running like he's running. You know what I'm saying? All the stuff that he wanted to do, he's getting it done. He's getting it done quickly. And I agree with like a lot of the stuff. Well, I agree with everything he said in here. There's no more one-sided relationships. There's no more just us doing for you. You do nothing for us. If I ask you to close your border, that's not asking a lot. If people was running in here from the United States, you would ask us to close our border to the people that was coming to our country from the United States, and we probably would do it for you. But we're not asking a lot. Not only we asking you to close your borders, but you've been getting over this whole time.
The whole time you've been winning.
You've been winning. Canada, the way things is going, yeah, we are a much bigger country than y'all. We could outlast y'all. Y'all could put all the tariffs y'all want on us and blah, 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 blah. It's going to hurt y'all a lot more than it's going to hurt us. And the same thing for Mexico. Run, yeah. I feel like right now we got the president, we got somebody that's a gangster. I like the fact that he's standing on business. He's standing on his words. A lot of the time I started to turn off politics because it started to seem like tricks because they would say they would do X, Y, and Z and get in office and do none of it. You definitely can't say it's about Trump. Everything he said he was going to do for the American people, he's doing it, and he's doing fast. He's not making you wait a year or two. He's not making you wait much how long. He's getting to one task, to the next task, to the next task, to the next task. And I definitely like the way things is going. We only 2 weeks into his presidency. I can only imagine what 2 weeks or 2 months from now is gonna look like. It's definitely gonna be a lot of changes. Shouts out to him. Before we get up this video, if you didn't like, subscribe, or leave a comment, make sure you do that. And until the next video, it's your boy Trey TV.
And it's your boy Lamar Wilson.
And we out.